Thank you. I too want to thank BI for sponsoring events such as this and all the support that they give our association and our members throughout the year. The research grants that they are so generous with means a lot. I'm certain I'm not the only one in the association that appreciates it. All right. You know, I've noticed through the years when they put together programs like this, they like to follow some good hard science with some not so hard science. And when I'm done, there's nobody in the room who's going to have to guess which one was which. So a little background on how this came about. Angela Boehringer's maybe the fifth or sixth technical services vet I've had in 4 years, and I'm pretty sure that they were drawing straws, you know, to see who had to go to Nebraska and deal with that guy out there. And we were always a little slow to come to the market, you know, on some of this new technology. And so, you know, the big red N on the Nebraska football helmets stands for knowledge. So, I had our rep had got us some Circoflex to try early in the process, and I had run several side-by-side trials, and I kept telling him I just don't see the severe PCV-AD that everybody else is seeing, and maybe I'm just a bad diagnostician, but when I run the studies side-by-side with vaccinates and non-vaccinates, I don't see a lot of difference in mortality. And so Angela finally, you know, she is from Missouri, and my middle name is Thomas, and so, you know, the doubting Thomas and the show me person came together, and she put this trial together, and I really appreciate sharing the results with you today. So the objectives, her objectives were to show me that there was a growth effect from the Circoflex, and I had a good luck of having a student from the University of Illinois, Jason Verbeck, here last summer, and Jason was trying to grasp the finer points of statistics and trial design and whatnot. And so on the way from the farm the first time, he said, "So what are we trying to prove here? You know, what are we really looking for?" I said, "Well, we're trying to prove the null hypothesis, actually." So Angela knew she was up against it, trying to prove that the vaccine would actually have an effect. And then in the end, to see if there was a population weight distribution difference from PCV2 vaccine. So the source farm was PERS naive, and we were doing routine monitoring on this farm. Typical nurseries used to be run as a hotel style, but now they're stocked within a week, and these large nurseries contain multiple source pigs, but all from the same PERS status. So we started with 600 weaned pigs, all from a single sow farm, at about 21 days of age. We tagged them, weighed them, randomized at weaning by weight and sex, and then Angela blinded all of us, except her, to the trial. They were all tagged the same and commingled in pens, and Angela went back then and vaccinated 300 pigs and left 300 controls. The pigs were commingled in pens throughout the study. Everybody involved besides her were blinded to this study. We took individual body weights again at day 0, day 35, and day 119. And we chose day 119 because that was just ahead of the first pull out of there. We had to have a stopping point someplace. So at day 119, we considered that slaughter weights. Cull pigs were defined as pigs weighing less than 180 pounds on day 119. So this was some help we had, student help and whatnot, to weigh in those pigs out of the nursery phase of the trial. This is Jason Verbeck, and I finally found my true calling to hold pigs and let him bleed. He was a lot faster than I was. So the serology, we just took 93 randomly selected pigs, both controls and treatment groups, and they were randomized for sex as well. And we did 6 serial blood collections throughout the study on these: PCV2, PERS, Salmonella, Lawsonia, and Mycoplasma. I failed to say that these pigs were vaccinated for Mycoplasma at the just the day before they received the PCV2 vaccine. The results, well, she did show me. The mortality rate, as I had suspected, and as we looked at before, wasn't significantly different. But the cull rate jumped huge. And remember, the cull rate was based on animals that had failed to reach 180 pounds at the end of our study at 119 days. On the day one weights and the average daily gain, you can see that the controls averaged 220 pounds and almost 8 pounds difference for the vaccinates, which was very significant with a p-value of 0.0005. The weights out of the nursery were not different, in fact, almost identical. And then the separation came at the end as those pigs picked up steam as they got closer to market. The weight distribution of those pigs, as would be expected, the non-vaccinated pigs had a tail off to the left, and the coefficient of variation varied significantly between the vaccinates and the non-vaccinates. So we had a tighter group and really cut off that left tail and moved the curve to the right with the vaccine. The quantitative PCR was also significantly different. In the 93 pigs that were bled, half vaccinates and half controls, you can see what the log titer did as we got into exposure. So week 12, 18, and 22, even at the end of this trial, there was still a lot of viremia in those non-vaccinated pigs. So this probably accounts for the difference in the growth rates. The one-dose PCV2 vaccine did significantly increase growth rates in a population of high health pigs, which did not meet the case definition of clinical PCV-AD. Certainly we could find individual pigs once in a while that we'd send in, and the lab would call them PCV-AD, but not on a herd basis. The culling rate was significantly reduced by vaccination, and consistent with a diagnosis of subclinical PCV-AD, the mortality rate did not significantly differ, and this was not a primary complaint of my client. So the right shift of the weights and the narrowing of weight range for the vaccinated group of the pigs illustrated the biologic and implied economic benefit of immunization.